Hello, Year 8. Today we are going to be solving equations that have pronumerals on both sides. What that means is that when you see the question, you'll see the letter, which in this case is A. A is on both sides of the equal sign. When this happens, something to remember is that it's always a good idea to have the letters on the left. And by that I mean on the left side of the equation. We want to collect all the letters up so that they are on the left side of the equation. So that means if there's a letter over here on the right-hand side of the equation, I want to move it. And that means I'm going to move the whole term away. If I want to move the A, it's a positive A. So to move it, I'm going to subtract A from the right side, and I'm also going to subtract A from the left side. And when I do that, I always put it underneath the other A term so that I can collect them up. That means the A that's on the right is going to disappear. I subtract these A's on the left. 2A take away A makes 1A. Then I'm going to plus 3, and then that's equal to 7. Then all I need to do to finish this equation is to get rid of that plus 3. So the opposite is to minus 3. That will leave A equals 7 take away 3 is 4. Let's try that quite a few more times so that we get really, really good at it. Okay, so in B, we want to move this S over to the left-hand side. So to move it, I'm going to subtract the S. Do it underneath both sides, underneath where the S's are. 3S take away S, remember that's taking away 1S. That would be 2S plus 1 equals 9. Now there are two numbers with the letter S, so I need to do 2 steps to finish this equation. The first step would be to get rid of the 1, so I'll minus 1. That leaves 2S equals 9 take away 1 is 8. Then, to get rid of the 2, because it's multiplied, we're going to divide by 2. That leaves S equals 8 divided by 2 is 4. Moving on to C. Again, the letters that are on the right-hand side, we want to get them over to the left-hand side. So the opposite of a 3t is to subtract 3t. Get rid of those ones on the right side there. 5t take away 3t. 5 take away 3 is 2t. We still have the negative 8, and it's equal to 12 because the 3t's there have disappeared. Now there are two numbers to move away from the t. First one is the negative 8. The opposite is to plus 8. That leaves 2t equals 12 plus 8 is 20. Then, to get rid of the 2, we're going to divide by 2. T is by itself. 20 divided by 2 is 10. In D, we want to move the minus 2n. The opposite of a minus 2n is to plus 2n. That gets rid of those. 3n plus 2n makes 5n plus 11 equals 6. Then, doing 2 steps to get the n by itself. First of all, I will subtract the 11. 5n equals 6 take away 11 is negative 5. Then, to get rid of the 5 in front of the n, we're going to divide by 5. N is by itself. Minus 5 divided by 5 is negative 1. For E, 6t plus 8 equals 33 plus t. So this t on the end here, I want to do the opposite, which is to minus t. Keep the t's underneath each other. 6t take away t makes 5t. We still have the plus 8 and equals to 33. Then 2 steps. We're going to subtract 8 which gives 5t equals 33 take 8 is 25. And then divide the 5 and we get t equals 5. Okay, hopefully it's getting easier the more of these we do. Let's do F. So we have an x over here on the far right hand side. The opposite of a minus x is to plus x. Do it to both sides of the equation. 3x plus x makes 4x plus the 2 equals 16. Then solve the two-step equation. We minus 2, which leaves 4x equals 14, and then divide the 4, which leaves x equals 14 over 4, which doesn't go exactly, so you can use your calculator. If you go 14 over 4, it would simplify to 7 over 2, or, if you turn it to a mixed numeral, 3.5. G. I want to move the 11e so that all the letters are on the left. So I'm going to subtract 11e, keeping it underneath the e's on both sides of the equation. So keeping this in order, I have 18 first, then I have 9 take away 11 is a negative 2, negative 2e equals 10. Okay, so then the 2 is with the e, so I need to move the 18 first. The opposite is to minus the 18. So that negative belongs with the 2 there. So negative 2e equals 10 take away 18 is negative 8. Final step is get rid of this minus 2, but it's times with the e, so I need to divide by a negative 2. So that gives e equals, minuses cancel out, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. H. 5k minus 1 equals 9k plus 3. So I want to move the 9k by subtracting 9k from both sides. That leaves 5 take away 9 is negative 4k. Then minus 1 equals 3. Then, solving the equation, we're going to add 1 to get minus 4k equals 4, and then divide the minus 4 to get k equals negative 1. On the next page, we are going to do some of these with brackets in them as well. And we learned about expanding brackets when we did algebra. So hopefully you haven't forgotten. When you see the brackets in the equation, the first thing you should do is expand them. So we are going to multiply the 4 with the m to get 4m, and then minus 4 times 3 is 12, equals m plus 6. So there was no bracket on the right hand side, so that just stayed the same. But now that the brackets are gone, it's a pronumerals on both sides question, so we're going to get rid of this m here by subtracting m. 4m take away m is 3m, minus 12 equals 6. Then solving the equation, our opposite is to plus 12 to get 3m equals 18. And then dividing by 3, we get m equals 6. Doing that again for J. First thing we do is expand the brackets. 5 times r is 5r, and then minus 5 times 1 is 5, equals 2r plus 1. Moving the 2r, we're going to subtract it. 5r take away 2r is 3r, minus 5 equals 1. Then doing the opposite, we plus 5 plus 5. That leaves 3r equals 6. And then divide 3, r equals 2. K. Okay, this time the bracket is on the other side of the equation, so we're going to leave the 2c exactly as it is, and the 4 is going to times in this bracket. So 4 times c is 4c, then minus 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, now we have c's on both sides, so we're going to subtract the 4c. Okay, 2c take away 4c is negative 2c equals negative 8. We still have the minus that belongs to that 8. Then the minus 2 is times with the c, so we're going to divide by minus 2. That leaves c equals minus 8 divided by minus 2, which is 4. Then part L, expanding the brackets first. 2 times 5 is 10, minus 2 times 4 is 8x, equals 3 minus 7x. Okay, again, the letter on the left, on the right-hand side, sorry, is minus 7x, so I want to add 7x. That will leave 10 minus 8 plus 7 is a negative 1, or we'll write negative 1x. We don't usually write the 1, but I'll show you why I want it there in just a minute. My next move is to get rid of the 10, which is positive, so my opposite is to subtract 10. That will leave a negative 1x equals 3 take away 10 is negative 7. Now, this is why I want the negative 1 there, because there's a negative in front of that x. To get rid of it, I need to divide by negative 1. Then the x is by itself. Negative 7 divided by negative 1 makes a positive 7. Okay, upping the difficulty yet again, we now have more. We have 2 brackets here that we need to expand out. So it just means I expand both of them. Starting with the 4, timesing it through. 4 times a is 4a, plus 4 times 2 is 8, equals. Now times the 3 in. 3 times a is 3a, plus 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, brackets are gone. Now we want to collect up our letters. So I'm going to move the 3a by subtracting it. So minus 3a, minus 3a. 4a take away 3a is 1a, or just a, plus 8 equals 9. Then there's only the 8 to get rid of, so I minus the 8, and then I get my answer, which is a equals 1. Question N, 2 brackets again. Let's expand. 8 times a is 8a, then minus 8 times 2 is 16. Now we have to be really careful of this one because it's a minus 3 that we're timesing into the bracket. Minus 3 times 2 is minus 6a. This is the tricky part. Minus 3 times minus 1 will make this a plus 3. So remember, whenever there's a negative at the front of a bracket, it changes that symbol. Okay, and that's equal to 13. Now this time, the 8a and the 6a, they are already on the same side of the equal sign. So we don't need to do any opposites, we just want to collect like terms. So 8a and minus 6a are like terms. 8 take away 6 is 2a. And the minus 16 plus 3 are like terms. Minus 16 plus 3 is negative 13, and then equal to 13 on the other side of the equal sign. All right, so everything's been collected. Now we're doing our solving steps. We're doing our opposites. We want to add 13, which gives 2a equals 26. And then to get rid of the 2, we divide by 2, and our answer is a equals 13. Okay, we are nearly done. There's just one more on the next page. So one more time, we're going to expand these brackets. We're going to do 4 times 6 is 24y, then minus 4 times 2 is 8. Now again, it's a minus 7 that we're timesing in here. So minus 7 times 4 is minus 28y. And then minus 7 times a minus 3 changes the sign to a plus, and 21, because 7 times 3 is 21. That's equal to negative 3. Then our like terms, the y's are on the same side, so we're just going to collect these up. 24 take away 28 is negative 4y, and minus 8 plus 21 makes a positive 13, which equals negative 3. Okay, two steps to solve. We're going to subtract the 13. We get negative 4y equals negative 16. And then dividing by negative 4. So y equals minus 16 divided by minus 4 makes a positive 4. Okay, so a lot to do there. Your turn to practice now, and you need to do pages 10 to 13 of your workbook, please.